when I was rushed in with a blood clot in my leg. They said it was cellulitis, but it wasn't. It was a blood clot that had exploded and went in my lung. Just missed my heart, hit my lung. Then I was diagnosed the next day as having heart failure. And that's more or less how I found out. I was rushed in again with breathing problems again, and they ended up sending us to Freeman's. Had a few tests, they sent us to Freeman's, where if they had sent us before, I would be able to have an operation and I wouldn't need to have a heart transplant. So I'm under Freeman's Hospital now waiting for a heart transplant. I've been bad for a long time, in and out of hospital. The worst one was I had a sack of blood in my heart, which they got 2 litres of blood off, and I was in coronary care for 3 days. So now I'm just under Freeman's waiting for a heart transplant. I was poorly, I had a bad neck, bad arm, couldn't sleep, couldn't keep nothing down, keep being sick. So my mum phoned Freeman's and they tell us to go in, so I went in. They give us morphine for the pain. The next day I went for a scan, and that's when they found out about all the blood around my heart in the sack. I went back to the ward within minutes. I just didn't know anything. I was just screaming with pain and didn't know where I was, and then the next thing I woke up and in coronary care. Yes, it was. I had a pacemaker fitted previously to that, and everything was fine. I felt great, and then one of the wires wasn't working very well. They put 3 wires in, so I was twitching a lot, so they had to go in again in the same wound and replace the wire. And unfortunately, whereas being on warfarin, it thins your blood. So when they've gone in, they've nicked a little bit, and it's leaked and leaked and leaked with blood. And that's how I was rushed into Freeman's. They rushed us into theatre. They were reversing the warfarin, giving us injections all the way down to theatre, reversing the water, trying to thicken my blood up. And then they cut into my chest and put a tube in to drain all the blood. And they got 1.5 litres in theatre, and then over the few days I was in intensive care, they got another 0.5 litre out. And I was in intensive care, like I say, for 3 days, and I was put on a ward for another 3 days. The reaction with the family was shocked. My mum doesn't talk about it, because if she talks about it she would have to realise what's going to happen. My dad's okay about it now, he wasn't at first. I think it was just total shock for everybody. But me, it didn't hit me for 2 years, and it's just hit me this year what exactly the extent's going to happen. And I just wish it was all over and done with now. But they're strong for me. Jade and Wayne. Wayne doesn't really let you know, but neither does Jade. I think I know how they feel. Yeah, I've got no plans. I can't make plans until I've had a transplant. Hopefully it'll work, and then I can look to the future then, but I couldn't tell you what my future holds at this moment.
That was a shock, because we never expected that to happen, but neither did the doctors. But fortunately she came out of it okay, but it was hitty messy that day.
Yeah.
Now I'm okay, but I still cannot believe that she's going to have this operation. I know she will one day, but I still can't believe it. So we'll just have to wait and see. Like we've been there for each other all the time, so I hope I can give her the care she's given me over the years when I've been poorly.
Yeah.
A shock, really. A shock because they missed what was wrong with her for so long. Putting it down to different things, being like a chest, being, I don't know, they just missed something that could have been so obvious, and like maybe it's like might avoided like where we are now, you know. It was hard, it was upsetting. I mean, it's your mum, obviously you're going to be like, you're going to be gutted really, you know, but you've just got to like stay strong and like be there for her as much as you can, and that's it really. Just got to be strong. Me and the family, it's, to be honest, it's affected, I think it's probably affected me more than it has my sister. I don't know, my sister's a lot stronger than I am, and I don't know, when my mum's in hospital and stuff, I'm there all the time, and it does take a lot of the time and sometimes can be a bit of a nuisance, you know. But you just don't, to be honest, you don't mind it. You don't mind it, and I normally go up for the visiting starting until the visiting finishes, and I know it does a head in sometimes, but I just feel awful when she's in hospital on her own, so I think it has affected the family in quite, I don't know, quite substantially really, because it's basically like an extra worry for everybody else, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying that in a nasty way, but it just means everybody's like worrying all the time, like as to whether or not when the phone call's going to be. You get reluctant if you want to book a holiday because you don't know. You could fly off on your holidays and you could get a phone call to say your mum's gone in for a heart transplant, and I don't know, it does make you think about things a lot differently than you would in normal circumstances. For us as a family, I suppose during like, while stuff like this is going on, it's kind of hard to be optimistic about anything, you know. You've always got to think of the worst, I think. But in the future I would love to see my mum get this transplant and a new lease of life given to her really. I'd love to see her be able to walk the whole 100 metres to the local shop as opposed to having to take the car because she cannot walk that far, and I'd love to be able to see her just happy again and going out and having a laugh with her friends again, rather than having to worry if she's going to have a funny term when she's out. And I would just love my real man back.